Hello and welcome everybody to 1990. In 1990, a certain TV show was being broadcast by Fox, brand new, called The Simpsons. Do you remember The Simpsons back then? It was all about Bart at first, and all the kids were like, hee, we're gonna be like Bart, and all the parents were like, don't be like Bart. And then over time, it seemed to evolve into a show about Homer, and then Lisa, and then they all took turns, didn't they? Either way. Oh, another movie that came out in Home Alone, I get so distracted. Home Alone came out, one of our favorite Christmas movies. People are like, Die Hard is better. We'll leave that argument for the discussion that will rage in the comments below. Yonex comes out with some amazing carbon woods here. They're far and they're forgiving. They're far forgiving. They have a carbon fiber face. You can see the carbon weave through these. It's amazing how, the carbon era really kicked off in 1980 with the Mizuno Vanguard, and by 1990 they had refined it, right? This was like one of the largest heads made. This came out before the Callaway Big Bertha. This was way ahead of its time. The carbon era at its peak. Yonex. In the golf world, speaking of golf, Nick Faldo won the Masters that year, early in the year, and then he won the Open. It was the Nick Faldo show in 1990. Huge Mizuno rep. I don't know what that has to do with the Yonex, but I keep calling it Yonex. But either way, let's get these on the review table and have a closer look. So we're going to start with a comparison. I got a lot to show you. So the Callaway Big Bertha, that's this one right here. Callaway Big Bertha S2H2 on the left versus the A.D.X 200. Okay, look at them. At address, they look very similar. And then you compare the faces, and the face of the Yonex looks a little bigger, doesn't it? Especially by the toe and the heel. Carbon allowed them to make a slightly bigger head and give them more forgiveness. You see where I'm going with this, don't you? And so they're pushing the limits of new technology. Obviously, the Big Bertha came out in 1991. The Yonex A.D.X 200 came out in 1990. So a year before Callaway, they're coming out with these large heads. And as far as the A.D.X 100 and 200, I can't tell a difference. I can't see a difference. I can't tell a difference. They both look very cool. They look like, if I saw a modern 3-wood like this, I would say, it's very modern looking, like a modern 3-wood. So the 200 is the one I'm going to be hitting, but there's one more thing I want to show you before I go too far. These Yonex clubs have whipping in 1990, but look, by the mid-90s, this is a 1995 A.D.X 100i. Notice there's a ferrule. Pretty interesting. Anyway, let's move along. So the identifying features, obviously the crown. You can see there are these two cutaways. They're looking for aerodynamics in the new carbon age. Can you imagine a company marketing for aerodynamics and new carbon fiber? It's just recycled marketing. It's exactly what they were saying in 1990. All right, so we have a 4-screw aluminum sole plate. We have kind of a sector shape right here, cutaway where you can see through to the graphite core material, parent material. One A.D.X 200, the Yonex logo with the Yonex brand right here. All right, we spin around the skirt. They have a little marketing thing right here about aerodynamics for maximum distance. You can see the weave. Can you see the carbon fiber weave here on the face? Beautiful, huge face compared to what came previously. Very cool looking club. And then there's obviously whipping around the hosel up here to the shaft. We have a gold shaft. And if you look way up here, you'll see the Yonex branding, boron. This one actually has a Flex R. Not sure if that's going to show up. A regular Flex. I put the sticker on just to remind me of the year. And there's a half Cordy Victory grip here. It says Velvet Cord Victory Golf Pride USA on the butt right here. So it looks pretty good. It's carbon. It's aerodynamic. What more could you want in a club? Let's get this out to the simulator and see what numbers I get. A.D.X 200, not the 100, the 200, because we only play golden shafts here. The graphite era, good old Yonex. My understanding is there were some graphite, carbon fiber, whatever you want to call it, face inserts previous to this. We're going to have to drop this T just a tiny bit. And yeah, so the 80s were like This one's 1990. But yeah, the 80s were definitely the carbon era. So I have no idea what to expect out of this. It looks very similar to like a Big Bertha. Maybe a little deeper on the heel and toe with the A.D.X 200 right there. I don't seem to be losing any confidence after hitting a Persimmon Woods. Let's see how that one does. 205. It's like my 4 hybrid. Launching low. 98 club head speed, whatever. Fun. All right. I wonder what the big difference is between this and the 100. If you know, let me know in the comments. Well, I have both of them. They look like the same size. I can't tell the loft. Maybe the shaft difference. No idea. I'm gonna take a fuller swing. That one felt so heely. Heel hook. That's never good. Club head speed 104. The carbon era is here in 1990. All right, let's try that again. I'm going to try to do more of a fade. Setup. Weaker grip. And not hit out of the heel. So this might be a massive slicer. Okay. Oh, that's not great ball speed. Yeah, heel. 203. So, yeah. Looking at this, it does look an awful lot like a modern 3 would. Let's hit one more for you. Maybe a little bit more controlled, less just like brute. Let's get our club head speed above 100. Let's just first tee it, see if we can hit it down the fairway. That one felt like it was pretty sweet. A little high on the face. Yeah, 237. Doesn't surprise me. With the modern drivers I hit, my best shots are going about 260. So it's only like 20 yards short of that with an okay hit. Spin rate was fine. Yeah, everything was fine on that. Let me know your thoughts, memories. Yonex A.D.X 200, the carbon era is here. So I brought all these out just to kind of show you. I don't know the difference. I just picked one. Maybe the 100 has a different loft than the 200. I'm not really sure. One has a silver shaft, one has a gold shaft. I couldn't tell a difference enough to make a separate video for each of these. So I'm just going to talk about each one. This is a 1995 A.D.X.I 100. It's an A.D.X 100i, and it says right here on the toe, A.D.X 100i Tour model, and it says the rest of it on all of these, where it says aerodynamic graphite head for maximum distance. All right. Yep, far forgiveness. If we could only combine those words, I don't know how we would do that. But either way, Yonex came out with some gems here. Now, here's the problem with technology. When you make a technological marvel like these, let's just face it, these are pretty amazing. You kind of get complacent and you just think, oh, okay, we don't need to make them bigger, right? In fact, we're going to make it this tour model even slightly smaller, maybe a stiffer shaft in it. That's great. We can change the loft, make it more aggressive. And then they forget, oh, maybe we should make it bigger. Maybe we should do a 60 times carbon face instead of just a solid, I don't know how thick this is, you know? So they kind of stopped innovating, which was, I think, their downfall in hindsight, you know? Hindsight's 20/20. So for the time, these are absolutely amazing. If I were building a 1990 set, like a pre-Big Bertha driver, I really struggle to think of anything more advanced than these. Obviously the 95 isn't, but like the 100 or 200. And if you know the difference between the 100, please, seriously, in the comments below, let us know what the difference is. I for the life of me, can't see a difference or feel a difference. So I guess I can see the shaft color is different, but you get what I'm saying. So yeah, Yonex, amazing. They're still around today. More to come. Do you want to see a separate video about the tour? I don't know if it's worth making. Either way, huge shout out to my patrons. I really appreciate your support. You can join us on Patreon. I'll put a link in the description below. Just $1 a month, and you can see behind the scenes pictures, videos, updates, things like that. And you can also support this channel by visiting my Amazon shop. I'll put a link in the description below. I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases. I have some golf stuff on there and some other things. You can look around on that shop. Again, link in the description below. Thank you everybody for watching. I am the Vintage Golfer.